There was a time not that long ago when a new Marvel release didn't just feel like a movie, it felt like an event. You didn't debate whether you were going to see it, you just figured out what time you were going. Opening night crowds, packed theaters, people clapping, reacting, even tearing up together. It was lightning in a bottle, and somehow Marvel managed to capture it over and over again. But now, as Marvel prepares to release its next big film, something feels different. There's still hype, sure, but it's not the same kind of universal excitement. Instead, there's hesitation, there's debate, and for the first time in a long time, there's a real possibility that this upcoming movie might not land the way Marvel needs it to. To understand why, you have to look at what made Marvel untouchable in the first place. During its golden era, the Marvel Cinematic Universe wasn't just successful, it was meticulously crafted. Every film felt like it mattered. Even smaller entries had threads that connected to something larger. Characters grew over time, relationships evolved, and audiences became deeply invested. By the time Avengers: Infinity War hit theaters, fans weren't just watching heroes fight villains, they were watching years of storytelling collide in a way that felt earned. And then came Avengers: Endgame. Endgame wasn't just a conclusion, it was a payoff. It delivered emotional closure to characters that audiences had followed for over a decade. Tony Stark's journey, Steve Rogers' arc, Natasha Romanoff's sacrifice, these weren't just plot points. They were moments that hit hard because they were built over time. And when it was all over, it didn't just feel like the end of a phase, it felt like the end of something much bigger. And that's exactly where the problem begins, because once you reach a peak like that, where do you go next? Marvel's answer was expansion, new characters, new storylines, and a major push into streaming with Disney+. On paper, this made sense. The universe needed to grow, evolve, and introduce fresh faces. But in doing so, something important got diluted. The sense of cohesion started to slip. Before, it felt like every project was part of a carefully planned roadmap. Now, it often feels like multiple storylines are moving in different directions without a clear center. The multiverse concept, while ambitious, has also added a layer of complexity that can feel overwhelming or disconnected if not handled carefully. And then there's the issue of character attachment. When audiences first met Iron Man, Thor, or Captain America, they weren't instantly iconic, they became iconic over time. We watched them struggle, fail, grow, and change. That kind of investment can't be rushed, but with the newer wave of characters, many viewers feel like they haven't had the same opportunity to connect on that deeper level. It's not that the new characters are bad, it's that they haven't had the same kind of build-up. At the same time, Marvel dramatically increased its output. Multiple films per year, combined with several streaming series, turned what used to feel like a special occasion into something constant. Instead of anticipation building, audiences started to feel like they were being asked to keep up with homework. Miss a show, and suddenly a movie might not make as much sense. Skip a film, and you might miss a key piece of the larger puzzle. For casual viewers especially, that can become exhausting. And that brings us directly to the upcoming Marvel movie that has people talking. This film isn't just another release, it's being viewed as a potential turning point. There's pressure behind it. Pressure to prove that Marvel still has that spark. Pressure to remind audiences why they fell in love with this universe in the first place. But early reactions and online discussions suggest that not everyone is convinced. One of the biggest concerns is tone and direction. Fans are asking what exactly this movie is trying to be. In the past, even when Marvel experimented, there was still a sense of identity. Now, some projects feel like they're trying to juggle too many ideas at once, balancing humor, drama, spectacle, and setup for future storylines without fully committing to any one thing. Then there's the issue of visual effects. Marvel set a standard for blockbuster visuals, but recently, that standard has been called into question. Some projects have faced criticism for looking rushed or overly reliant on CGI that doesn't quite land. When audiences start noticing the seams, it breaks immersion, and in a genre that relies heavily on visual spectacle, that's a problem. Another growing concern is stakes. During the Infinity Saga, the stakes felt real. Characters could and did face permanent consequences. With the introduction of the multiverse, however, some viewers feel those stakes have become less tangible.
Surprised you didn't puke?
It's not my first weird trip, kid. So, this is New York and the multiverse.
There it is.
If multiple versions of characters exist or timelines can be altered, it creates a sense that nothing is truly final. And when nothing feels final, it's harder to stay emotionally invested. Still, it's not all doom and gloom. Marvel remains one of the biggest names in entertainment for a reason. Despite recent criticisms, the brand carries weight. There are still fans who are excited, audiences who believe Marvel can course correct, and a foundation strong enough to build on. This upcoming movie has an opportunity that few others do to redefine the direction of the franchise. If it delivers a compelling story, strong character moments, and a clear sense of purpose, it could restore confidence and remind audiences why they showed up in the first place. It could prove that Marvel isn't fading, it's evolving. But if it misses the mark, the conversation will shift further against it. Right now, something subtle but significant is happening. People are starting to hesitate. The automatic impulse to see a Marvel movie on opening night is no longer guaranteed. More viewers are asking whether they can wait for reviews, for word of mouth, or until it's on streaming. And that change in behavior is huge. It doesn't mean Marvel is finished, but it does mean the margin for error is smaller than it used to be. At the end of the day, this upcoming movie represents more than another chapter in the MCU. It's a moment of truth, a chance to steady the ship or confirm growing concerns. The real question isn't just whether the movie will be good, it's whether it will be enough. Enough to bring back excitement, enough to make audiences feel invested again, and enough to remind everyone why Marvel became a phenomenon. Now I want to hear from you. Are you still all in on Marvel, or are you starting to feel fatigue? Will you see this movie in theaters, or wait for streaming? Drop your thoughts below. I'm genuinely curious where you stand. And if you enjoy content like this, like the video and subscribe to Richard Barron Horror for more deep dives, breakdowns, and discussions.